any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
You ready? Canelo, choose one, please.
Guys, we gotta go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? It's just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy.
Terence "Bud" Crawford, the undisputed pound-for-pound king, has made his position clear. He has publicly challenged Floyd Mayweather and confirmed he's ready to risk his unbeaten record. At the peak of his career, Crawford isn't interested in an exhibition. He wants a real, serious fight.
Words, you are better than Floyd Mayweather.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When you heard that, what did you think?
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best, you know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know. I don't go off.
The buzz about a fight between Terence Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather started from just one rumor, a challenge that could push Mayweather to risk the one thing he values more than money, his flawless legacy. The boxing world shifted dramatically the night Crawford faced Saul Canelo Alvarez. This was the moment he had been waiting for, the peak of a long, often frustrating journey in which he was frequently called the most avoided fighter in the sport.
I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out, from Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not. Kovalev
was older. He does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is not there.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo though?
It's a tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always have respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too.
The journey was so frustrating that Crawford has admitted he was close to retiring entirely, if the career-defining fight against Errol Spence hadn't materialized.
It happened. If not, then, you know, it just be one of those fights that go down in history that didn't happen. You know, it's numerous of fights that didn't happen. Do I want the fight? Absolutely, yes. Have I tried to make the fight? Absolutely, yes. Do I want the fight after this fight? Absolutely, yes. Like, of course, you know, but if it doesn't happen, then it's out of my power. I can't, you know, make the man fight. I can't make the man, you know, go against, you know, what he stands for with his team and all that. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to continue to do what I do.
How was this particular weight cut? Was it a very difficult one, or did you feel at ease with the weight cut?
I mean, it's always difficult, but, you know, like I said, I don't make any excuses. The better man.
On the sport's biggest stage, he showcased his greatness by defeating Canelo and became the first male boxer of the four-belt era to go undisputed in 3 different weight divisions.
Situation, guys. No one has ever been a 4-division champion in boxing. Not a real one. Oh, Pacquiao won 8 and Oscar De La Hoya won 11 and this one won 15. No, I'm talking about Ring Magazine champ or lineal champ. You are the champion of that division. Forever, the record was 3 by Henry Armstrong. Manny Pacquiao was the first dude to really win 4. Floyd gets credit for 4 for beating Canelo, but that wasn't at the junior middleweight limit. I don't count that. I don't count that. Terence Crawford just joined Manny Pacquiao as the only legit 4-division champion in the history of boxing. And he did it by jumping middle. He came lightweight, junior welter. Then he won a belt at junior middle, not the whole championship. And then skipped middle to fight Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed, for the Ring Magazine super middleweight championship of the world, and left no doubts, including with Canelo, who was all class after the fight, but knew what had...
The win solidified Bud as the pound-for-pound king. But the most surprising moment came after the final bell. At the post-fight press conference, a humble Canelo Alvarez, who had faced both legends, made a striking statement.
And lastly, for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Canelo said, "Crawford, if you can." No, I think Crawford is far better than Floyd Mayweather. He went on to highlight the huge challenge Crawford represented, adding,
We already know. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not.
The legend of Floyd Mayweather was defined by a masterful ability to hit without being hit. But his legacy goes beyond stats. It's built on the carefully crafted brand of TBE, the best ever.
Floyd says TBE, the best ever. He's told me, I'm not even talking about in the ring. Someone else can have that. He's talking about playing the whole game. Then you have an argument. Playing the business side of it, not getting hit, getting out undefeated, making a ton of...
For a man with such a massive ego, how do Canelo's words land? How does he watch Crawford achieve what he never did, becoming a three-division undisputed champion, without even a hint of pride or feeling challenged?
Building your store, sure, but I can see the money getting crazy after that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you'll see reports. You mentioned 100 million for Floyd. The reports are 130. First off, he's never gotten 100 million for a fight, not even remotely close. But there's reports of 130. Wow. There's reports online that Floyd's a billionaire. There's reports that he was the highest paid athlete in this year over Cristiano Ronaldo.
You think it's bullshit?
I know it is. And there's public companies they do business with. HBO would be one of them. Find an executive to back the claim. It's never happened and it won't be.
When there's a percentage split between Floyd and Pacquiao, I'll just say this. On the Monday after the fight, we wired him in advance, and the advance was $100 million. Someone comes to me with a 9-figure check and says, "We need your signature in order to release this."
Wow.
And that's when it set in. It's like, wow, we're at a different level.
This is the man whose career faced criticism from analysts like Max Kellerman for carefully picking his opponents after leaving the lightweight division. Was it caution, or the strategy of a brilliant tactician safeguarding his empire? That question now carries a whole new weight.
Say Floyd did it in 4, but he had a weight stipulation where Canelo couldn't weigh in as a full junior middleweight. I don't count that. That's not a junior middleweight. That's 3 for Floyd.
What do you have to say to that?
I had one fight, and the fight wasn't actually at a catch weight. It was at a catch weight, but it wasn't my idea. Canelo at one particular time thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152 and a half. And me, I called his bluff and said, if you want to do it, let's do it at 152. But after Canelo made the weight, it wasn't like it was a certain clause to where he couldn't gain weight. So after he weighed 152 or 152 and a half, I think he came in like 168 or close to 170.
And actually, I came in at probably like I probably came in at 1.
In an unexpected move, that same strategic mind recently made a surprising bet on the fighter seen as his biggest threat. When Crawford faced Canelo, Floyd quietly wagered $50,000 on Bud to win, pocketing a neat $124,000.
You placed a bet, won a lot of money. Congratulations. What are your thoughts? What was your reaction to the fight, Floyd, as you watched Bud and Canelo in there on Saturday?
Oh, it's good for boxing. It was exciting. The best man won.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
Oh, I don't know. Boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body.
It was a classic money move, but fans couldn't help wondering, was it just a smart business decision, or did he recognize something in Crawford, a final irresistible challenge to his own throne? Spurred by Canelo's remarks, the boxing world exploded with debate and opinions.
Billy Crawford, even though, fought twice, throughout the year, Crawford, was...
But look who he beat.
Undisputed.
Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence, and how he did it, that's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on them. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
What do you think of Bud's performance last week, man? What do you think of Bud's performance last week?
Man, great. Bud always been like that. But I would question South. You know what I'm saying?
South. You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him probably going to 160.
I would get up crazy. He looked at
He considered it. The hypothetical clash between a prime Crawford and a prime Mayweather has split experts and fans alike. The more you analyze it, the more complicated it gets. While Floyd's brilliance is undeniable, he showed glimpses of vulnerability against fast southpaws, especially in the early rounds against Zab Judah. Crawford, however, isn't just a southpaw. He's a predatory switch hitter, a far more dangerous and adaptable challenge.
He fought his whole career. People like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there, take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I know from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then, and he got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He got
hit with some single shots going out. He's going out and Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him.
Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it. Yeah.
And sometimes that smile can be a lie. And sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad.
This sets the stage for a captivating battle of ring IQs. Mayweather's brilliance comes from control, managing risk, and drawing opponents into a defensive trap with no way out.
His power, have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
I've been hit harder.
No, in a real fight, not a sparring.
In a real fight. Not Avanesian, but Mean Machine hit harder than Canelo to me.
His brilliance is both predatory and adaptable. He studies his opponents closely in the early rounds, analyzing every move before methodically breaking them down step by step.
I'm leaning Bud. Yeah.
He's slick, man.
Yeah.
He's slick. He's super intelligent. He sets traps. He does stuff. And then, there's a bunch of great breakdown videos of particularly the Errol Spence fight, like him setting traps. It's just, he's a very high level guy, but Canelo is dangerous. He broke Billy Joe Saunders' whole face. Broke his whole face. What he did to Amir Khan. Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lordy. Oh, lordy. And never been down. Never been dropped.
Yeah, Canelo's a stud.
Yeah, Terence.
Yeah. Canelo, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight.
I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it, no matter what. In the scorecard, we lost it.
Well, you're the best. You're the number one fighter in the world, and
Thank
I think keep trying to get a champion. You want the rematch?
Could Crawford's adaptive, problem-solving mind unlock a Mayweather code that 50 others couldn't? When asked, Crawford's response was simple and confident. At the same time, Floyd's uncle, Jeff Mayweather, insists that Floyd's defensive skill and experience are on a completely different level.
Canelo, that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course.
Yeah, nobody had it.
And that was
a
Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience. And he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people.
Top of his career. How you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
Don't you want
to make himself look like he did something?
The harsh condition being whispered about isn't some hidden contractual trick. It's a demand so simple yet powerful that it challenges the very heart of Floyd Mayweather's post-retirement empire. Its weight becomes clear when compared to another rumored fantasy bout with Roy Jones Jr., who insisted on a real, officially sanctioned professional fight, not an exhibition. That same strict demand now hovers over a potential Crawford matchup. It's brutal because it would push Mayweather out of the safety of exhibitions and into a live-fire scenario, putting his perfect 50-0 record, the cornerstone of his claim as the best ever, officially on the line. Floyd dominated his era. I dominate mine. There's no need to compare me to Floyd.
Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going out there.
Since retiring in 2017, Mayweather has only taken part in high-paying exhibition matches, going up against opponents from YouTubers to MMA fighters.
What is MP Promotions, Netflix, Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MVP.
These carefully controlled events have kept his perfect record intact. By insisting on a sanctioned fight, Crawford would be asking Mayweather to risk everything he spent a lifetime building against an undefeated, undisputed fighter in his absolute prime. Yet even if Crawford made this bold demand, who could possibly cover the enormous cost to make it happen?
They take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was done before that ever started.
And he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight. Yeah, he needed shoulder surgery before the fight even.
The answer lies in the changing world of global boxing. We've entered the era of the impossible fight. Visionaries with seemingly endless resources, like Turki Alik in Saudi Arabia, are rewriting the rules. Fights once held up by promotional red tape are now happening with remarkable speed and record-breaking purses. This new financial muscle could make a showdown of this scale possible. At the same time, streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon Prime have added another layer. Hungry for blockbuster events, they could turn a Mayweather versus Crawford clash into a global spectacle, attracting millions of subscribers. With this unprecedented influx of money from sovereign wealth funds and streaming platforms, an offer could be crafted so massive and irresistible that even Floyd Mayweather would take notice. But the journeys of these two legends weren't built on gold, they were forged in conflict. Both had to overcome bitter controversies that threatened to derail their careers. For years, Terence Crawford's biggest fight wasn't against another boxer, but against his own promotional company, Top Rank. His eventual split from legendary promoter Bob Arum was explosive, culminating in a lawsuit where Crawford made shocking claims of racial bias, alleging the company deliberately failed to promote him to superstardom and blocked him from landing the mega fights he sought.
My decision is made already. You know, Bob couldn't secure me the Spence fight when I was with him. So how you gonna secure me the Spence fight when I'm not with him? So, you know, I'm moving forward with my career right now, and I wish everybody the best.
It was a lonely, bitter fight waged in headlines and court documents, portraying Crawford as an outcast king battling the boxing machine. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather's most celebrated victory, his record-breaking bout against Manny Pacquiao, remains clouded by controversy. Critics focused on an intravenous infusion Mayweather received before the fight to rehydrate. Although he later received a retroactive exemption and no banned substances were found, many felt the incident cast a lingering shadow, questioning whether it violated the spirit, if not the letter, of anti-doping rules.
I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, you know, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, "What should I do to get into heaven?" He says, "Sell all your belongings." And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell.
Interview 21. For both fighters, their perfect records hide a history of struggle, one fighting for the opportunities he was denied, the other defending the legitimacy of his greatest victory. If the money could be secured, the fight would be about nothing but legacy. This wouldn't just be another 9-figure payday for Terence Crawford. It would be the ultimate proof, defeating Mayweather beyond debate and solidifying his place as a transcendent all-time great.
For Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT, greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, you know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
For Mayweather, it's a terrifying risk. A loss wouldn't just tarnish his record, it would shatter the aura of invincibility he's built over more than 2 decades. Crawford's threat goes beyond physical skill. He's mentally formidable. As former champion Sean Porter pointed out, Crawford didn't just outbox Canelo, he broke him mentally, wearing him down until his spirit gave way. Crawford has what his trainer calls that dog, an unyielding will to win that surpasses technique. The matchup of Mayweather's defensive genius against Crawford's versatile switch-hitting and relentless mental assault would be the ultimate clash of styles. So when might it happen? On one side stands Terence Crawford, a versatile offensive master with knockout power in both hands and an iron will. On the other, Floyd Mayweather, the immovable object and greatest defensive fighter of his generation. In an era where the impossible fight is suddenly becoming possible, the mere idea of Crawford versus Mayweather is enough to captivate the boxing world. The debate, the fantasy, and the harsh conditions it entails may represent the legendary showdown fans have long imagined, leaving the sport to wonder forever what could have been.